Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode because we're calling these episodes now because we might as well make it into a podcast, right? So, of Smart Start with Skills. Me, Tracy D. Allen, and Julia Bali, and we are the co founders of Skills Academy. And today we're going to be talking about the family advantage. So, every day we're getting on here, we're talking about a little bit about different aspects of what makes Skills Academy unique. And today's episode is about the family advantage. We've alluded to it in many of our episodes, and we just kind of want to take a deeper dive into the family advantage of Skills Academy. Julia?
All right. But before we dig into Skills Academy, we want to share with you a little bit of what you've missed in case you want to go back and listen to the previous episodes that are now our podcast. So we talked a little bit about the traditional education. We talked a lot about the solutions that we offer because of the traditional education. We share the experience that your child will have with the blended learning, with the live versus digital, or synchronous versus asynchronous, the language that works for you. And we talked about the individual plan. So really creating an individual plan based on where your child is. So we meet your child where they're at. We create an individual plan, but we don't do it in isolation in our organization. We do it with the family. And that's what makes it truly unique. You are a part of this process from the inception of registering your child, onboarding your child into our learning environment. And we talked about our daily structure, like what makes us different, how the content heavy components happen in the morning, there are live components to that, and then there are digital components to that experience. We actually had a few parents inquiring about, well, my child is traveling or my child is not in the time zone. So what happens? And we shared that it is pre-recorded. So your child can log on at any time from anywhere across the globe and engage in that information for that day and then continue with their digital experience when it's convenient for them in the time zone they're in. We shared about the curriculum and what makes our curriculum different, the typical learning day. And the next episode is going to be about what happens in the afternoon called choice. And then with all of the amazing information and knowledge that Tracy knows with tech and platforms, we shared that experience as well. So if you missed any of those, you want to go back and listen to all of those experiences that take place. And today we're jumping into the family advantage. So like what we talk about the family advantage, like what are we doing different that
At a K to 12 school.
K to 12 school with the family advantage.
Yeah.
And so what we're sharing is one of the challenges as educators coming to you with 50 plus years of combined experience in the field. One of the challenges was always, how do we integrate the families into the learning experience? And so we took some time and really looked at how can we bring you in, aside from being a part of your child's experience and being a part of working on planning their individual plan. We also have plans for the family. We provide family workshops. We provide family night. And so I'll share a little bit about what that means when I say workshops. Aside from what we have been doing as educators, because we teach in just all facets, different facets, outside of sort of like that brick and mortar K to 12, is being able to bring to you our additional expertise of us and other members in our organization and our school in regards to, for example, wealth management. So Dr. Allen is amazing in the entrepreneurial space and has been doing that for, 15 plus years, and is also going in the nonprofit space in the entrepreneurial space, in the for-profit space. And so that's also going to be available to our parents that are a part of our community, those workshop ideas, because we want to also pour into you, as where you are in your family, and we're pouring into each other. So that's one of the availabilities that'll be there for you. One of my additional expertise happens to be in the wellness space, and so just being able to, in our current environment, in our current atmosphere, and just the political climate and everything, and just trying to manage self and family, bringing that in with some stress management techniques. Those are going to be workshops that are going to be available for you, along with that one-on-one progress. So we will be doing progress sessions, checking in sessions. We're not waiting to tell you, like, oh my gosh, well, this report card comes out in 6 weeks, so you can find out then what happens. No, we stay on top of providing you with the information that you need to help your child, because we are doing this together. As I keep saying, the village is raising the child. We are doing this together. And so it's not, you don't have to wait 6 weeks or wait till the marking period ends in order to be able to find out how your child is doing. We have progress monitoring check-ins. We are very flexible, and so they're at your convenience. Yes, we have our regular progress, our cycles that will go out so that you know how your child is doing, but that is not the only time. We individualize this experience, and so if you need additional progress check-ins, if you need support with understanding how the technology works, if you need additional support with understanding how the platform works, we provide all of that support and service for you. So along with being able to hold the workshops and do the progress check-in on a flexibility. So we have our cycles, and like I said, individualized cycles of check-in, if that is something that you would like. And then we have our immersive experience. But before I get into that, let me share with you that nothing that we are sharing with you is at an additional cost. That is all included in your child's monthly tuition. So this is not an additional fee. This is us, again, working together with the child and with the entire family, and just looking beyond just educating just the child. So there's no additional fee for that. And then we do have our immersive experience. And so that particular experience, that will be at an additional cost. And that's something that we share with you once you, skillsacademy.org, once you go and you sign up to have that one-on-one experience to find out if this is the learning environment for you, then we share that immersive experience. And that immersive experience, again, includes the child and the family members. 1 or 2 family members can be included in this immersive learning experience. But we really take that learning experience and make it truly hands-on. That much I will share with you about the immersive learning experience. Have I left anything out?
No, you could tell you love this part because you just talked and talked. And I just let you go ahead and have it your way.
I know. Look, this is one of the things as a high school principal I was always struggling with. Like, I meet the child where they're at. Yes, and I agree. And I've been, we've both been doing that our whole career. But I was like, what about meet the families where they're at? And so just being in that public school setting, it really didn't allow for us to be able to really invite the parents that wanted to be. Because yes, some parents, I'm working a job, I'm working 2 jobs. I'm like, my child is safe in your school, I'm good. But then there were other ways that you wanted to invite parents in, but you just didn't have the resources or the access to be able to do it. And it wasn't a very welcomed idea. So really to be able, but the parents that did do it, that were
because remember, I ran that entrepreneurship program.
Yes.
I ran an entrepreneurship program in her school.
And it was wonderful.
So I used to drive from Connecticut to New York on the weekends to run that program, and it was amazing.
Yes. And
Mhm.
those students did great because you
Yeah.
know what? Their parents were a part of the school environment.
Mhm.
Those
Mhm.
students were
We
so
even did
successful.
an accumulative activity where they signed up to be vendors at a fair, and I went out and me and my daughter sat with them, and they were sold out for
Yes,
whatever they made through their entrepreneurship ventures and put into place. They had their flyers, they had everything. So it's kind of like taking that and putting it in the school again. And so I'm telling you, it's absolutely wonderful when the parents can get involved and they can learn a new skill themselves. And like Julia said, it is free of charge. It's not an additional cost as long as your child is enrolled in Skills Academy itself, not our after school program now, and Skills Academy itself. As a student, the parents get those components free. You get
yes.
the entrepreneurship training led by me. I have 26 plus years
See,
in
I
the
knew I got my numbers
entrepreneurship
wrong.
space, right? Because I was an entrepreneur and a teacher all at the same time. And Julia has been immersed in the health and wellness space while being a principal. And then when she left that, she got all her certifications and everything else that she needed. So she's very adept at that in that area as well. And stress management is so important because we know that, well, health and wellness, period,
Yes.
is so important because if your health isn't good, you're no good to yourself or your children or the entire family unit. So these are things that we thought were going to be important to offer to parents. And we're saying all parents, men, women, it doesn't matter,
Right.
caretakers who want to be involved in leveling up their lives as well. Because if you're good, then your child is going to be good. So that's what we really want to have happen. And that's why we
Yes.
decided to create the Family Advantage component of the Skills Academy. So, like, again, this is not regular school. This is a family unit, right? Because we're serving not just the kids that are going to be enrolled in the school, but the entire family. We want to make sure that everybody is good. So, your children, one of the things as a parent that I was so concerned with is that I do something that causes long lasting effects on my child as an adult. Like, my child can't get over something I did to them as a child. And I was very conscientious about that when raising my kids because I didn't want it to be the reason that they were scarred as
Mhm.
adults. And so that's one of the things that we're trying to prevent from happening with the students that are enrolled in our school. So, again, hence the family advantage.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. It's so huge. And like I said, along the same lines, we've known each other for over 40 years. So we've
Yeah.
mirrored quite
We're
a bit
old.
in terms of,
Even though she
you
hates
know,
me to say that, but yeah, we're old. We're not young
we're
people.
not. I am embarking on my youth. I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah,
Yeah.
like in raising our own kids and being in education, and then for me just continuing in that administrative lens and seeing where the gaps are
Mhm.
and wanting to be able to fill the gap and give the families that advantage. Because like I said, we
Yeah.
the parents that took the entrepreneurship, they were so successful, it was a great experience
Yeah.
for
They
them,
loved
and
it.
they loved it. They learned an additional skill, and our students
Mhm.
were also taking the entrepreneurship, so they had this
Mhm.
common language that was
Mhm.
outside of just what are your grades, what are your score.
Yeah.
It's like it opened up a new relationship and a new conversation in the family. And for those that took your course and then did the entrepreneurship course that was offered to the students, it
Mhm.
built another language and bridge within the family, and just
Yes.
made them stronger. And so those are the things that we want to be able to do, not just have like, how are you doing in this class, how your science scores, how your math scores, but
Mhm.
collectively as a family, as we're moving forward. One of the things that I so admire about Tracy, and just being the inception of this. A lot of her thinking, which aligns with mine, but she says it out loud and I don't. It's just leaving that legacy.
Yeah.
And so being the person in your family that says, I want my child to be a part of this academy because they are serving
Mhm.
my child, because they are serving the family, which means you are now leaving a legacy behind.
Mhm.
And that's another component that makes us so different from the
Mhm.
schools that are out there. It's not just about, oh, we need you to come in and you make your monthly payments and your child gets X, Y, and Z services. No, this is
Mhm.
really about honing in on your child, honing in on the whole family, and just taking the family from where they are and just building a lifelong legacy of learning and
Mhm.
whatever additional skills strengthens your family component. And so that's why we said it's definitely out of the box. It's definitely different. And it's more than just the academic lens. It's the academic, the social, the family, the entire, it encompasses just everything. It's
Right.
the village and it's the legacy.
And it would be hypocritical of me not to have looked at that component as well, because one of the things I do when I consult is tell people they need to work within the gap. So you need to do your reconnaissance, figure out what's on the market, and figure out where the gaps are. Because where the gaps are, if you can fill a gap, that's where your success is going to be. So it was the same thing when we decided to put the schools together, is that we looked at all the gaps based on our experiences and what statistics are saying, where the gaps are within the educational system, and why our educational system, our traditional education system, is failing, and making sure that we were going to be able to fill those gaps. So, yeah, the family advantage helps to fill that gap.
So please, we encourage you to skillsacademy.org
Mhm.
to set up your appointment one-on-one with us so that we can share a more in-depth version of the experience you and your child will have with us.
Yeah. Until next time, the next time you see us, we're going to be talking about the choice
Yes.
program, which I'm excited about. That's another gap filling. um, that's another gap filling component of the curriculum that we've created for skills. We'll go through what the acronym meant, because we were just going to call it choice. And I was like, no, if we're going to call it choice, it needs to be an acronym. It needs to stand for something. So we'll talk about what that means and how it will impact your child or any other child who is homeschooling and just wants to come in for that component of the program. Because, like I said, flexibility is what we're about. We want to make sure that we can serve as many kids as possible in an effective manner. Of course, we're not just want your kids to sign up for signing up sake. This is not just about money. It's about really creating impact in the lives of the children and the parents that are coming to our academy. So the next time you see us, we'll be talking about the choice program. And today we talked about all of the different components of the family advantage. We talked about the fact that we are serving parents on entrepreneur levels. So if you want to learn about setting up your business, we'll be there. I'll be there to help you step by step through the process to set up a business so that you can change your lifestyle if that's what you want to do. If you're having issues with your health and you want to deal with your change your eating habits, exercise habit, lifestyle habits, then Julia will be able to help you with that. Neither of these services are an additional fee for parents whose children are enrolled in the Skills Academy. That is completely free of charge. That is our give back to the parents who are trusting us with their child's education during the day. So that is it for today. Thank you for joining us for Smart Start with Skills. Until next time, bye bye.
Bye bye.